Hey, friends and family, how y'all doing? This is Marklin Stickler with another edition of Marklin's Movie Talk. And today, another horror movie. Y'all know it's Saturday. Get some discount matinee shows. So, hey, today was Every Family Has Its Demons Evil Dead Bird. So, today is Saturday, July 11th. Shout out to my Uncle Carl. Today is his birthday. I'm going to try and make sure I see him this weekend. Just holler at him. So, Evil Dead Bird. I've been waiting on this, y'all. I've been waiting on this. I am an Evil Dead fan. I don't know if it's my favorite. I don't know if I'm gonna say it's my favorite horror franchise. It may be the Final Destination at this point. Although I think the last Final Destination, Bloodlines, went a little bit too funny, but Evil Dead is definitely right up there. And I got a little bit of light coming from the side right there, so that's why y'all may see me move from time to time. But this is my fresh out of theater review. I did take some time to gather my notes and kind of go. And you follow me on Letterboxd. I'm Letterboxd on Marklin Sit as well. So shout out to Mr. Greg for telling me about Letterboxd because I'm just starting to build my profile over there as well. And I did my detailed review over there. Well, detailed written review. So, Evil Dead Burn. We 1 minute into this, y'all. All right. Yeah, I know we do have Marklin's Movie Talk. I'm gonna tell you about the movie. I'm gonna tell you what I like, I dislike. I'm gonna give you my notes because I took notes in the theater on this as well. I'm gonna tell you some things I think you may need to know. I am going to spoil some things. So if you want this, well, I don't want to see spoilers. This is not the channel for y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So with that being said, let's give a spoiler warning. We're gonna start our clock in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're in the spoiler territory. All right. Let's talk about what this movie's about. All right. If you've never seen an Evil Dead movie, it's basically about this book called The Book of the Dead. And the Kandarian Book of the Dead. Basically, when you read from this Book of the Dead, it conjures up demons that usually attack people who are reading from this book. And then when it attacks you, it either kills you or possesses you, so you can go kill somebody else. That's Evil Dead in a nutshell. Sam Raimi did it, and Bruce Campbell. I think it was like an independent film project for Sam Raimi, I think. Don't get me on the details on this, y'all. I'm just going off the top of my head here without looking it up. I know the first one was made like 1981. Independent movie, did very well. Did so well that he got a studio deal with Evil Dead 2. He kind of remade his first movie in the sequel. Did a cleaner version of it. But Evil Dead 2 was probably the first one I saw as a kid, and I was too young seeing it. And then, Army of Darkness became very popular. A little bit too funny for me. That's why I think I've never sat there and watched it on. But I love Bruce Campbell's Ash. So we had the Evil Dead trilogy for a while. And then in 2013, we had the Evil Dead remake, which I loved. That was Fede Alvarez, who probably my favorite movie by him is either that or, and I know everybody's like Don't Breathe, but I hadn't really watched the Don't Breathe movies all the time. But for me, it'll probably be Alien Romulus. I think he made that. And then we had Evil Dead Rise that came out a couple years. I think it was the first movie I saw out of the pandemic. We could go back to the movie theater. That was the first movie I saw was Evil Dead Rise. Loved that movie. That was Lee Cronin, who I just did The Mummy by Lee Cronin recently. So now we hear the Evil Dead Burn. And let me make sure I get the director's name. The writer is directed and covered by Sebastian Vanacek. I've heard of Sebastian Vanacek. He made this movie called Infested or Vermin. I have that on my on my watch list. I just need to go ahead and watch it. So yeah, so so this is the third standalone entry in the Evil Dead franchise and the 6th movie overall. This is the first thing I said, and I'm gonna tell you 2 things off the bat. 1, this movie is very well directed. 2, I was so engaged in this movie, I didn't want to take the notes. I didn't want to get him to go to the bathroom. I had to go, but I was like trying to watch the movie, and it's shot very well. And the cinematography is very good. Those are things I like about it. I'm gonna go and tell you what I didn't like. In the third act of this movie, or the second act, it slows down. And I noticed it slowing down. I was like, this is unnecessary. Can we speed this up and get to the point? There's a part with the mother and the daughter and the son. Yeah, I was like, okay, we slow down. The third act is the CGI. I did not like the CGI in the third act. Because they did so well up into that CGI. It just, whoa, what is this right here? I think they could have done it in a better way. I'm not a filmmaker per se, but I think they could have done it in a better way. I'm gonna tell you now, if you liked the previous version of this Evil Dead Rise, you will like this because it is connected to that. I will tell you that much to start. I'm not going to spoil that for you, but it is connected. Also, I'll tell you this, there are not 1 but 2 end credit scenes. So I'm gonna tell you that. So now let's kind of get in this movie before I run out of time. All right. First note I have, if this wasn't a horror movie, it would be a family drama / trauma. I mean, literally, you could take out the horror elements and still be uncomfortable with the stuff that's happening to this family and the trauma they're facing. All right. Second thing, this movie is vicious. I mean, vicious. And I looked on Letterboxd and somebody's review, they said this is French extremism. And I've heard about French movies and how they can get very extreme and how they show stuff. This movie definitely falls into that. Definitely. So that is your warning right there. If you don't like gore, it ain't really gore, it's just brutal, y'all. It's brutal and it's painful. It is. The stuff that happens to these people in this movie is painful. I mean, I'm saying that with my chest. Now, you do have a little bit of comedy in here with the grandma. You know, so I heard some people say they don't like how it's not as funny as some previous extent. I don't mind that. I'm fine with that. Okay. Also, I'm gonna say this. I kind of wish I hadn't seen the trailers, because I seen the long form trailer and I seen the trailers. There's a lot of stuff in the trailers in here. I knew it was coming, and I wish I had been surprised by it. But still, the movie is good. With that being said, I will say this much too. I like this better than Passengers and The Mummy. I've seen both of those movies. I'm putting this above that. I mean, you know, Obsession's clearly the horror movie of the year at this point, but it's different from this. You know, I'm putting Evil Dead Burn above. If I rank them, Evil Dead Burn, Passengers. Well, outside of Obsession, Evil Dead Burn, Passengers, Mummy, Scream 7, I think. And I don't know if I consider Ready or Not a horror movie, more action comedy. Which brings this to me. I'm like, is this a horror movie? Is this a straight horror movie or action horror, or is this or body horror? I was trying to figure that out watching the movie. I don't know if this is body horror or action horror. So I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about that. And I'm just gonna be honest. I said it was brutal. It's just downright nasty at times. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. This movie is downright nasty at times. Head bashing. You're gonna see a family of deadites. And I think the part that got me with the second act, where I felt like it slowed down, I was like, and part of my life, I said, man, this bitch is stupid. The mother is stupid, y'all. I think that got to me. Now, one thing I think was different in this one, because in every Evil Dead movie, you don't see people get turned to deadites. I did feel like the deadite was treated more like it was being spread like a contagion. Like if you got blood on you or somebody touched you and they had it, you know, you got it. You became a deadite eventually, you know. So that was a different aspect to me. I don't think we ever seen it. Because usually I think it was like they had to bite you or just kill you. And I really think with this, they had to kill you. Even Dead Trips, they killed you, then you came back as a deadite. I will say this much too. I looked at my notes. This is the kind of movie that makes you exhausted watching it, because especially towards the end, you be like, God damn, I'm tired for this girl. I'm tired for these people. And I'm telling you, the long form, you can find the trailer. It's a long form trailer of one of the scenes when they're fighting a deadite. That ish is exhausting. I'm like, God dang, man. It is. Now, I said it's visually, and some of the scenes on this movie are just visually spectacular, y'all. The way this movie is shot is excellent. It's just the CGI just could have been better in the third act, y'all. And last but not least, I love how things in this movie connected to other things. Like I said, if you liked Evil Dead Rise, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch I want to go back and rewatch Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead 2013, and Evil Dead Rise. It connects so many things. And you see things begin this movie, and then you see things at the end of this movie, and it all connects. I like that. So, you know, I do out of 5. So I'm gonna give this 3.5 out of 5. I think that's fair. I want to give it a 4, but that CGI, man, that CGI just stuck on me. But the ending knocks it back up, because it would have been a 3 just due to that CGI. But that ending, those ending credits knock it back up, y'all. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. This is Marklin's Movie Talk. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe when you see this video. Make sure you follow me if you're not following. Make sure you repost or retweet or just share this video. I'm out with y'all later. Peace.